Thank you so much for coming. Mr. Deeds, we've been waiting for you. Everybody, as you can see, has turned up. These are our Smith Mountain Lake Democrats and guests, and we are very, very pleased to have you. We wish you the very best in your campaign. We're right behind you, and it is your lucky day because the Smith Mountain Lake Democrats have decided to pick up your cause and run with it. So we are going to take you all the way to the finish post in our area of the state. We are going to give you a 110% effort, and we are going to ask the same from you and your campaign. We want you out there so everybody can see the next governor of our state. We want you to follow Obama, but we want you to go further. We don't want to hear, yes, we can. We want to hear, yes, we will. Yes, we will. So with that, welcome to Smith Mountain Lake and the Smith Mountain Lake Democrats. The next governor of Virginia.
Thanks, Jenny, and I'll tell you, I'm not sure when I've been with a group before 9 o'clock that was this large and enthusiastic. You know, in the General Assembly, I've been down there for 18 years, and I'm part of a group that meets about 6 o'clock every morning up on the 6th floor of the General Assembly building for coffee, or for coffee and breakfast, for bacon and eggs, old-fashioned breakfast to tell stories about just life in general. And that's a pretty enthusiastic group, but it's not this large. So I'm pleased to be here. We have 66 days to go. We have a lot of work ahead of us. You know, when I was a little boy, I grew up in Bath County, and grew up out on a farm. And we didn't have a whole lot. I had a great uncle who had a boys' camp and a girls' camp, and so I got to freeload at the boys' camp every summer. And when I was a little boy, he would say on the first day of camp, boys, you're going to get out of this camp exactly what you put into it. Now, I didn't know what that meant when I was 7 years old. I wondered, what in the world this old man's talking about? But the longer I've gone in life, the more I realize that that's the secret to life. You get out of things exactly what you put in. You're either all in or you're not in at all. Jenny, you were talking about being 110% in. I'm all into this campaign. I'm not going to ask anybody to do anything that I'm not going to do. I'm on the road every day, talking to people, spreading the word. I'm all into this campaign. If I have this opportunity to be governor, I promise you that I'm going to work every day. I'm going to be all in every day, working every day to create opportunity in every corner of Virginia. You know, here's what's at stake. Mark Warner and Tim Kaine have been pragmatic, reach across the aisle, problem-solving, focused leaders. Do we build on that legacy? Do we build on their work, or do we stop dead in our tracks and move back? Now, I move all over Virginia. I travel all the time, and people might have different ideas about the issues that are important. They might have different ideas about the approaches they'd like to take, but nobody in no corner of this Commonwealth wants to move back. We've got a responsibility now, these next 66 days, to take Virginia forward. We've got a responsibility to share a vision for the future that's positive, that allows us to take every part of Virginia and create progress. You know, here's what else is at stake. We are in unprecedented economic times. You all know that. Friday, we got good news. The unemployment rate in Virginia ticked down from 7.1 to 6.9%. Let's put a little context to that, though. Instead of 300,000 people looking for work, 286,000 people are looking for work. 286,000 people are signed up for unemployment. That doesn't include the underemployed. It doesn't include people who just have given up and stopped looking. It doesn't include people whose benefits have run out. It doesn't include the self-employed that don't have work. We still have lots of trouble in this Commonwealth. You know, we're the best, continue to be rated the best state for business in the country. Mark Warner and Tim Kaine have set good role models in that respect. CNBC just 4 weeks ago said, once again, we're the best state for country in the business. But until we're the best state for everybody to do business in every corner of Virginia, we have a lot of work to do. And from my perspective, we have a lot of work to do. The next governor is going to have to restore confidence in the economy. He's going to have to create an environment where lots of new jobs can be created. The next governor is going to be charged, and the first year I'm governor, I'm going to get a transportation plan passed that's long-term in scope, that's statewide in perspective, that's creative in nature, because I think that's the quickest way we can create a lot of jobs quickly, we can create economic activity in every corner of Virginia, and we can create the revenue we need to do everything else. What else do we need to do? Well, you know as well as I do, the other leg of the stool, I mean, no stool has just two legs, but if transportation's one big leg, the other big leg is education. And we have school divisions in this state where unacceptable numbers of young people fail to graduate. We cannot rest as long as we're wasting time. We've got to make sure that every school system succeeds. We've got to make sure we quit talking about no child being left behind, and we really go about the business of making sure every child's included in the opportunity that we ought to be offering. We've got to make sure college education is more affordable and more accessible. The whole idea of a public system of higher education is not just for the sake of education, though from my perspective, that's good enough. But it's not good enough. It's not really good enough. The whole reason why we invest in education is to build the smartest workforce in the world. Because if we build a transportation system that becomes a model for the nation, if we build the smartest workforce in the world, we're going to attract the smartest jobs in the world of Virginia. If we put broadband internet in every community of the state, and you have a transportation system and a smart workforce, you're going to be able to do smart jobs.